day today. Cry. Full day, not even a full day, is it? No. We've got till like, we're being picked up at 3:40, so we've got like a good amount of time. But we've just finished packing up. Just pop it in your own backpack. We've just finished packing up. We're just going to take our cases down to Bell Services, just to keep hold of them until later on, and then we're heading into Epcot. I'm so sad to be leaving. It's gone quick, hasn't it? Yeah. But I don't want to be sad until like the day's over. Yeah. But we've had such a good time. But yeah, we're not gonna get too upset now because we've still got a fun day planned.
Bye room.
Bye room. So cute.
Club cool time. Yeah, so.
We thought it closed forever, didn't we?
I know. Yeah, I thought it'd shut forever, we were devastated. No more Beverly, Nat was fuming.
Which one you having?
Royale and Sprite cucumber.
What's that? Sprite cucumber?
No, it's not too bad. Find it?
It's a bit weird.
It's nice, I think.
Ben's gonna try the one with the China one. Do you know what flavour it is? Sour plum.
It tastes like barbecue sauce.
Oh. What are you trying to do?
Adjust. Bit big.
Bit big now.
Feel on it.
Are you one of the weird people that likes Beverly?
It's fine. I honestly expected it to taste like an actual poo, the way everyone goes on about it. It kind of just tastes like...
I feel like it's really bitter.
Yeah, it's not nice, but it just tastes like perfume or something.
Yeah.
Okay, now Nat's told me to try the China Swan Main Tang.
Really nice.
Try it.
Nice.
We will. What does that taste like?
It's a better reaction than yours was, Ben.
It's all fine.
Yeah, it's really good.
Ben said it tasted like barbecue sauce.
Yeah, that's what it tastes like.
Do you generally drink barbecue sauce?
No, like I wouldn't choose to drink it, but it's not like, I don't know. Can I try a nice one now? Let's try this.
So we've been joined by Shannon now.
Again.
She's left Ollie and Buzz at the resort today and come to have a day with us.
You're obsessed with me.
I know, can't get rid of her. So we're just heading over to the World Showcase. We've not done any rides yet. I don't know if we're going to bother.
The thing about Epcot though, it's like you don't really need to
You
do
don't
rides.
need to do rides, no.
We'll only do one ride today.
Yeah, so I forgot to mention this morning, because we were like rushing to get out of the hotel, but we managed to get a paid lightning lane for Cosmic Rewind today, which is so exciting because obviously we go home and it opened yesterday, so we weren't really expecting to be able to ride it. Where's she gone? Oh, she's there. We weren't really expecting to be able to ride it this trip, so I'm really excited that we managed to get a lightning lane. I feel like I'm out of breath from laughing. So it is pretty late, like we'll be doing that and then going straight back to the hotel to get our Mears Connect, but I'm so excited. So we got to Epcot first, so we went in the creation shop, didn't we?
We did.
Which is the best shop at Disney now in my opinion. Like it's so good, it's so like spaced out and there's so much stuff. So we bought a few little bits and now we're just heading over to the World Showcase, but people have got umbrellas up. I don't know if that's just because it is hot or if it's going to rain.
No, it's going to absolutely hammer down.
I just said I don't know if people have got umbrellas up because it's going to rain or just to get the heat off them.
It did say it was going to,
Yeah,
but it was like low to thin. It's raining where Amy is and that's only like 15 minutes away.
Hopefully it'll not be too bad. But yeah, hopefully it'll not be too bad. But we're just gonna go around the World Showcase. I really want to get a violet lemonade today because I've not had one, and maybe some fruit shake. Oh, some new dollies, Ben.
Very creepy dolls.
So I'll show you. We'll probably do some eating around the world as well. So I'll show you what snacks we get. So I've just got my first little snack from Flower & Garden. I got a violet lemonade and I'm just walking over here to take a cute little picky of it because, you know, do it for the gram.
Cheers!
Thank you.
Next receipt, please. Match me.
So me and Shan have just been in, how do you pronounce it? L'artisan glace. De glace, something like that. And got some ice cream. So I got a raspberry ice cream macaron sandwich and Shan got the brioche. What flavour did you get? Chocolate?
Chocolate with caramel sauce.
Yum! And it's hot, so it's gonna be nice.
Yeah. Excited.
I got raspberry. I've never had the raspberry before. We had the chocolate one last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
The chocolate one was really good, so hopefully this will be just as nice. Somewhere in the shade.
Yeah.
We've got some frushi. We're snacking our way around the world. So we're gonna try it. Are you getting your piece, Ben?
I might just pick it up.
Yeah,
Will that be easier, do you think?
Yeah.
It's like a pop-in kind of situation.
Cheers!
Okay.
Oh!
In one? Go on, pass me one. I'll do mine in one as well. Didn't know it was a shot.
Mmm.
That is good. I've eaten mine already. You're just keeping it in there. You're sucking it.
It's nicer than I remember, actually.
It is refreshing. But it's like, no, it sounds silly, but I didn't actually realise there's something rice in there. It kind of goes, but
I think it's coconut rice.
Oh, like rice pudding.
yeah. Oh, you've done it in a little bite.
Yeah.
It's
Sophisticated.
Shannon can't get her words out today.
Everyone's staring. You must be famous. Are you famous? Because everyone's taking photos of you. I'm in. See you around the picnic.
Time for our lightning lane for Guardians. I'm so excited. We're just walking over to the ride now. It looks so cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Literally, we've heard so many people that have come off it and have been like, it's the best roller coaster they've ever been on. So I can't wait. Oh, that is the best ride she's ever been on in her whole life. Thank you. On a scale of 1 to buzzing, how buzzing are you?
Love it.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
For maintaining a strict dress code that explains it correct.
I am absolutely thrilled to see you. Greetings, Terrans. I am Nova Prime Irani Rayan, Commander of the Nova Corps. On behalf of all Xandarians, I hope you have enjoyed exploring the wonders of Xandar. As you have seen, your world and ours were born at the same moment, one which you refer to as the Big Bang.
Epcotians, citizens of Epcot. Does anyone know what they call themselves? What? I'm on? Someone needs to tell me when I'm on.
Oh.
Welcome Epcot-tarians, I am Centurion Tal Merrick, and we're just about ready to teleport you up to the ship for the demonstration.
Here's our escape vehicle.
Best ride ever.
Yes, we've just done Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
An awesome drink.
Natalie's been and got an awesome drink, and it was probably one of the best rides that I've ever done in my life. It was amazing. What did you say?
The best ride.
It's mad.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but the backwards launch is incredible.
Yeah, and the spinning.
It's just, there's
And the
so
loops.
much going on.
Oh, walking wrong way.
No, I want to get
Oh, you want to get a picture? But yeah, best ride ever. Bye Epcot. Oh, can't see you around. Bye Epcot. See you in December. Oh.
stressed.
I've ever been in a normal life.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Queued for 2 hours for bag drop, and then dropped our bags off, and the boarding now.
And we're on the monorail.
I don't know how far it is.
We have never been as stressed in our entire life. We just made it onto the flight with like the skin of our teeth. Yeah, Ben was like flopping away.
I had visions of me kipping on a bench in MCO until tomorrow.
Mears Connect picked us up at 3:40 when our flight time was 6:55, which
it was a bit
like
late.
Usually it was a bit late, but usually would have been fine. Bag drop at Virgin took like over 2 hours, and then we had to run to security. That took like 30 minutes, best part of
27 to 30 minutes.
And then we literally had to run.
The best part was, the woman at bag drop said, "You're bored in 14 minutes, make sure you go straight to security."
Yeah. Ben said, "Is there any way we can get through quicker?" And she was like, "No, sorry." It's like, well, why tell us that then? Why make us panic? But we didn't even get a chance to have any food. So luckily, these two are on our flight as well. And they managed to go and get us. No, yeah, they were on time for once.
Yeah, they were the only ones on time.
So Tor very kindly went to the shop and got us some crisps and some pop to keep us going until we get our plane meal, because we've not eaten today. We've eaten like snacks around the world. We've eaten frushi and ice cream.
I've had 2 egg rolls and a bubble tea.
Some egg rolls. But yeah, we've not actually had a meal, so hopefully the plane food will be okay, and then we can just get some sleep and forget about the stress. But yeah, that wasn't our favourite airport experience.
Do you know what? I think when there used to be the Magical Express, it would have picked us up
way earlier,
well earlier than that. I reckon it was 3:40. I reckon they'd have picked us up at 3.
Yeah, probably. But it's all good. We're on the plane. Just hoping the flight goes okay, and then we can just get home to Poochieburn.
Yeah, I can't wait for getting on to the dog.
But yeah, I'm just ready for some food.
I reckon we've got to wait an hour yet for food. He's not bothered, he's had 2 meals in. Hang on, can I poke up the nose? This one.
Weird. Kisses. Are you giving Daddy kisses? Go on then. Hi everyone. It's the following day now. Sorry, our travel day probably ended a bit abruptly. I don't actually remember.
The last bit you filmed?
Did we film anything in the airport?
We were that stressed, we didn't.
I think I did a little taking off video and landing, but I don't think we actually filmed anything. Basically, when we left Epcot, we went back. Rex, now is not really the time to be.
Do you want some food, mate? Daddy will bring you food while Mummy's just explaining what happened in the airport.
I can feed the dog.
I think he's hungry.
So we left Epcot, everything was fine, hunky-dory. We had the best day at Epcot. We had a really good last day, didn't we? Like, we were just bimbling around the World Showcase. Obviously Shannan came and met us, so that was really nice, spending time with her. We got to do...
Sorry.
We got to do Cosmic Rewind. I couldn't say that then. Rewind. Rewind. We got to do Cosmic Rewind, which was literally the best last thing to do on holiday. Like, I don't think anything could have topped doing that for our last ride and last like Disney thing. It was so good. Like, it was literally probably the best roller coaster we've ever done. And not even because it's like super intense or anything like that, but just the technology that's used for it.
Finish now.
Yeah, but then he's going to be crunching away eating it. Just the technology that's used for it is just incredible, isn't it? It's so clever. So yeah, we literally loved like every second of that, and if we had the chance we would have rode that like 10 times over, but obviously opening week that's just not possible. But I'm glad we got to do it at least once before we left, because in all honesty we were thinking, with it being like brand new and us not being able to get my annual pass preview. Did we actually even mention about that?
No.
So obviously I'm an annual pass holder for Walt Disney World, so DVC cast members and annual pass did get preview slots. But because I'm a UK annual pass holder, weirdly, I don't know if this is the same for everyone who has a UK and like from the UK who has an annual pass, or if it's just like select few people. I just don't seem to get any annual pass emails like at all, do I?
No.
So I didn't get the email when...
It's like you've not been let me put on the mailing list.
Yeah, probably. I didn't get the email that the annual pass slots had opened. I did see it circulating online. Is that wobbling because I'm on the table? Sorry. I did see it like circulating online, so as soon as I heard about it I went on and like found a link to it, but unfortunately all of the slots had gone. But it's fine, it's one of those things, like you're not guaranteed to get it. So when we were there we tried, obviously we said we were going to try and do Lightning Lane and try and do virtual queue. Ben didn't wake up early enough on either of the days, so it was all down to me. So I couldn't obviously try and do 2 at once. So each time I thought the majority of people are going to be going for the virtual queue because it's free. And we didn't use Genie Plus on every day of our holiday, so I thought I don't mind spending the $17 if it'll get us on once. And it was the end of our holiday and we just wanted to do it, didn't we? Yeah. So we didn't mind paying, and like obviously that's each individual to themselves, I suppose, but for us we were happy to pay it if it meant we could go on it. So the first day I had no luck, so on the actual Friday when it opened, so that day I wouldn't have been able to try for virtual queue anyway because our park reservation was for Magic Kingdom. So I just tried for the Lightning Lane to see if I could get it later in the day, like after the time that we could park hop, but I couldn't get it. So the first time that showed up was 4:20. Clicked on it and it changed to 6 something, so I clicked on that and then it went off, so I refreshed. One came up for like 7:55. Was it 7:55?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that, because I was like shouting things to Ben as I was doing it. But then it wouldn't get past the payment page, like it just wouldn't load the payment page, it wouldn't even let me put in any details. So that was a bit of a bummer because it would have been really cool to ride it on opening day. But on the Saturday we had a park reservation for Epcot, so I was going to try for the virtual queue, but after how quick I'd seen the Lightning Lanes go, I didn't know which was going to be the best option. And obviously with the virtual queue, even if you managed to join at 7 AM, you could have like a callback time in like 5-6 hours. So yeah, even if you get a callback time, if you manage to get a virtual queue slot, it could be within like 5-6 hours. And with it being our last day, we just couldn't risk that. So I managed to get us a lightning lane. The first time I selected was 12:25, and then as I'd clicked on it, it changed to 12:55, which was fine, we had plenty of time. And then I processed the payment and it said confirmed for 1:55 to 2:55. So it had obviously gone later as I was processing the payment. So luckily we still had enough time to do it. Imagine if it had gone any later than that.
We wouldn't have had time.
Rexy, what are you doing, sweetie?
Come on.
Yeah, because obviously if it had gone any later than that, we just wouldn't have had time before our connection to the airport. But it was fine, we just got there for like bang on 1:55, and we were on and off within about 20 minutes, weren't we?
Yeah.
Like, because obviously you walk through the queue, and the queue is so, like, even if you had to wait a really long time, I feel like you wouldn't get bored because the queue is just so like, it's so cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like looking around at everything. And then there's like a pre-show, which is insanely good, isn't it? Ben's like mesmerised by how they do things.
It was good.
So yeah, that was really, really fun. And then the ride itself was just incredible. I feel like I've spent about 10 minutes talking about Cosmic Rewind already.
Yeah.
So, sus for that, but if you get the chance to ride it at any point,
ride it.
Definitely do.
Pay for it, it's worth
Ben
it.
isn't even a roller coaster lover,
No.
are you? And Ben was obsessed with
came
it.
off, I said, I don't really like roller coasters, that was quite good.
I feel like I came off and didn't have anything to say. I was just speechless. It was so good.
It's just different, isn't it? Do you think?
It's just so clever, isn't it? It's so clever, like the technology.
It's like a mix between...
Like Space Mountain.
Yeah, and then like Buzz, you know, because it's like the same similar thing where you can spin it round.
But not, you don't do anything.
But you don't do it yourself. It's like doing it.
You can't really compare it to anything. I've never been on a roller coaster like it in my life, and I think it's just so clever.
Cool.
And I'm already excited to do it again on our next trip. So as soon as we'd done Cosmic Rewind, we quickly got that cool, amazing drink from Joffrey's, which was really nice. It was like a
Totally awesome drink.
it was just the awesome drink, I think.
The awesome drink.
But it tasted very similar to a Night Blossom, which we didn't actually have this trip, so I was glad I got my fix somewhere. So that was really good. And then we just went outside and we got an Uber back to the hotel, just because it was like the safest option rather than waiting for a bus and not knowing how long we would be waiting. Ben stresses on travel day anyway, so it would be better to just get back quicker, wouldn't it? But so we got back to the hotel like 45-50 minutes before our transfer.
Maybe 45 minutes.
So we had plenty of time. We went straight to Bell Services. No, actually we went to the gift shop first just to get one last little present for the boys because they wanted some bath toys, didn't they? So we went and got those, which were really bulky, so we probably should have got those a few days before, and then we could have packed a bit more cleverly. But we'd put a lot of the heavier stuff in one suitcase anyway, so we needed to do a bit of rejigging. So we went and got our cases from Bell Services, like opened one up, did a bit of rejigging, put the bath toys in, and then put some of like the heavier stuff in the lighter case. But that only took us like 10 minutes. Rex has joined us now. So yeah, we did a little bit of rejigging, just popped the presents and stuff that we'd bought that day in our case. And then we went and got a raspberry beignet from,
which was excellent,
Scat Cats Club.
Yeah.
Was it Scat Cats
little
Club
cafe next to the
which was so good. We did want to try like the normal beignets and dipping sauce, similar to the ones that we had in California, but like the original ones. But we just weren't really hungry, were we? Like even in the morning, I think because it had been so hot, even in the morning and like the early afternoon when we were at Epcot, we didn't actually have anything proper to eat. So me and Shan had a violet lemonade. You had a little sip of that, didn't you? But not a lot of it. And then we went to L'Artisan, what's it called?
De Glace.
I can't
posh ice cream shop in France.
Speak French. Can't speak French, so I can't pronounce that very well. But the ice cream shop in the French Pavilion. I had the ice cream macaroon, which was really good. Last time we went I had the chocolate one and it was well nice, and then the other one is like a seasonal one, so it was like raspberry, and I don't know if it was raspberry and something because one bit of the middle bit was
white chocolate
potentially because there was like a creamy white coloured ice cream.
Raspberry and vanilla.
Maybe. It was very nice.
Looked nice.
Shannon had one of the little brioche with like the ice cream and sauce in, which looked really good. She got chocolate and caramel. So yeah, we had those, and then we walked around the World Showcase to Japan. We got frushi between the three of us, didn't we?
That was nice. Which
was nice. It's like refreshing on a hot day. It's a good snack. And then Ben got his bubble tea from China. And you got some egg rolls, didn't you? But like me and Shan didn't have any like actual food. We just had violet lemonade, ice cream and frushi. But our plan was to, when we got to the airport, to get a Chick-fil-A. So we were kind of saving ourselves for that, weren't we? Yeah. But when we were at the hotel, we got our little beignet just to tie us over. We just shared that, didn't we? We did. I feel like I went off on a tangent with that story. Basically, we was going to get the powdered beignets, but we weren't hungry enough, so we just got one raspberry one to share. And then our transfer picked us up at
3:40.
3:40, which was, it was actually early. He came at like 3:35, so that was really good. Can't really fault Mears Connect at all, can we? So we headed off to the airport.
And this is where the fun begins.
That was where the fun began. So we got to the airport. It only took about 25 minutes to get to the airport.
We did one more pick up at Riverside.
Well, yeah, we picked up at Riverside, and then I think it was about a 25 or 30 minute drive.
Yeah, we got to the airport about 2 3/4 hours before the flight.
Before the flight, yeah. So we walked in, and now maybe we're like remembering it wrong because it's been so long, but usually for bag drop for Virgin it's like one of the full lengths. The
full size, isn't it?
You know, like the bag drop desk, like it's usually like desks. A full length. There's usually loads and loads. There were 4 desks open.
4? How many flights?
For 5 flights.
We waited 2 hours and probably.
So we saw the line and we was like, oh, it looks like it goes around the corner a little bit. So we went around the corner and it went all the way back into the food court and then like round the corner of the food court. It was insane. Realistically, thinking back, we should have took it in turns to just go and get a Chick-fil-A while we were waiting in that line.
We should have.
But we waited 2 hours anyway. Luckily we had a very nice couple stood in front of us, so that passed the time quite quickly because we were chatting to them. And they were telling us about all the holidays and things, which was nice. We just like chatting to people, don't we?
We do. And they was in front of us.
Yeah, they were really kind, and they'd got to the airport like super early. So when we got to bag drop, they were like, you go ahead of us, which was really nice because even though it's only like one person in front, like every little helps in those situations, doesn't it?
Well, I was probably panicking.
We were panicking. So we dropped her bags off. Everything was fine with the weight of the bags and everything. She was pretty quick, to be honest, wasn't she? That lady was really good. But then she says to us, she hands us our passports back and says, oh, by the way, your flight starts boarding in 14 minutes, so I would rush through security if I was you. So we literally pretty much ran to security. Luckily it wasn't far away from the bag drop, was it?
No.
But you know, it's got the screens that tells you the time. It said estimated wait time 27 to 31 minutes.
And that's where I really started panicking.
So then Ben was panicking. He was stood there, like his leg was going, and I was panicking as well. But Ben, so visibly panicking, was making me panic even more. So he was having a little tiff in the line, wasn't we? I was like, Ben, stop it!
Well, I can't help it now. I'm gonna miss the flight. We're gonna have to sleep on a bench, middle of MCO. We're gonna have gone through. There'll be no Chick-fil-A. I was fuming we'd not got that Chick-fil-A. That was like the worst part of the day, that we didn't get our Chick-fil-A. So we was in line for security, and at one point it just didn't seem to be moving, did it? It clearly was because people were going through, but I think, you know where you go through like your border control bit first, and I thought you were going it. I thought you just got bored of me then and was just leaving. You go through like your border control bit and then you go through to the security bit. I think when the security line got back to where border control was, they just stopped doing that bit, didn't they, for a few minutes. Our guy was really slow though.
Yeah, he was a bit, wasn't he? He was lovely. Don't get me wrong, he was lovely, but he was like
look at you,
glancing up and glancing.
And then he'd look at the ticket again.
Like he just couldn't decide.
Like, is that you?
Do you look the same as your picture? I know it was 4 years ago.
It was like he was really concentrating, which is good. Like, can't fault him for doing his job properly.
But when we needed him to just go, yeah, bye.
When we were in a rush, we were just like, come on, hurry up. But then as we got in the security line, that went down pretty quick, didn't it?
Yeah, I threw my shoes off, chucked them in the bin. Got all the electricals out and whacked them on the tray.
We were just in such like a mad panic.
Through the machine.
Which probably in hindsight might not have been a good idea, because if we'd have forgotten to put something out that needed to be, then it would have delayed us.
But we didn't.
Luckily, it was like the gods were on our side and all the bags just went through fine.
Before this though, Nat went and asked a woman.
Oh,
she said.
So when we were in the security line, and it was taking so long, and obviously the lady at the desk had told us, I saw one of the TSA ladies like helping people. So I went over and I was like, excuse me, like, we're really worrying. We've just been told. She was waving people through though, wasn't she? Yeah, so I was like, we're really worrying. We've just been told that our flight's boarding in like
10 minutes at this point.
Well, no, probably 5 minutes at that point.
Yeah.
I said, I'm worried we're going to miss like our flight. Is there any chance, there's any way you can like move us forward in the line or anything if there's people who've got later flights? And she was like, you could maybe try this line, but that's for families, so they might not let you through. So I thought, well, I'm not going to join a line that I might get refused from and have to go to the back of the original line. And I said, is there no like fast track or anything that you could maybe like pop us into? She went, not unless you've paid. So
didn't give us an option to pay.
Yeah, she didn't even give us an option to like pay there and then. You can
pay $20 each, and then you can go in that line over there.
Which, in fairness, we probably would have done because we were panicking.
It's a sheer panic, and I just Apple paid it. Gives you a reader. Ping. Bye.
So I spoke to the woman and asked if she could fast track us through, and she basically said we couldn't. Which obviously we don't expect it anyway, because we hadn't paid, but. I feel like at Manchester Airport, like, they usually come through and they're like, if anyone, what time's your flight? If anyone's on this flight, we'll bring you forward. Like, do you know what I mean? I feel like at a lot of airports that has been the experience, and the case is that they check who's on what flights, and if there's anyone that are leaving within like a certain amount of time,
there was somebody doing that on the Virgin bit, but after, I'd probably say after about an hour.
In the bag drop line there was a guy doing that, and it was the flight before ours, which annoyingly we wish that he would have been pulling ours out as well.
Yeah, it just kind of disappeared, didn't it?
Yeah, but again, like, it is what it is. It's not their fault, it's not our fault, it's just one of those things. Airports are crazy at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, it said online, get there at least 2 hours before. Yeah, so
we always generally get to the airport 3 hours before our flight. This time we were like 15 minutes less, weren't we, because of the time of our connection.
Yeah. And so, Mears Connect decide what time they pick you up and everything.
Yeah, so you can't change
so you can't change it.
Well, actually, potentially if you rang them you might be able to, but we didn't.
We didn't know.
We didn't know that that was an option, and we trusted that like they had the time right. And in fairness, on a normal day, there would have been plenty of time, wouldn't it?
We would have been sat there eating our Chick-fil-A nuggets, dipping in the Chick-fil-A sauce, living our best life. But we weren't.
But we weren't on this occasion.
Can you tell I'm salty I didn't get a Chick-fil-A?
But yeah, so we were in the security line, and obviously, as you would have seen in like earlier in the video, our friends Tori and Nath were on the same flight as us. So I text Tori and I was like, we're in the security line. If the plane starts boarding, can you just tell them that we're being as quick as we can and not to close the doors?
We're stuck in security.
But we're stuck in security. So she texted me back saying, don't worry, they've not started boarding yet. And that was like a good 10 minutes after the expected time to board, wasn't it? Yeah. So that made us like calm a little bit, but we weren't in a position to like feel safe, because we just needed to get to the gate and get on the plane before we could chill out. So we texted her, we was like, we're starving, we've not eaten. She said, oh, I'm near the shop, do you want me to get anything? So she was really kind and went and got us some pop and some crisps, which were a godsend really. We needed those, didn't we? So Tor went and picked those up for us, and then she texted saying that They just started boarding.
At this point, we were just putting our shoes
and we were
that
just
through the
putting
machine.
things in like the trays and stuff. And then she texted saying, "Oh, our row's been called. I've let them know that you're there, and they've put your name. They can't do anything, but they've put your names down to like know that you're running late."
And we were just getting on the little tray thing.
So we were just like getting on the little monorail thing, and Ben was like, "I don't know how long it takes to get across." I was like, "I'm sure it's only like a minute or 2 minutes." But you know when you're just like panicking and your mind just goes, I was like, maybe we're in a different terminal, maybe it's going to be a 10-minute monorail ride. Like, we just didn't know, but luckily it was the minute or 2 minutes, whatever, that we remember.
Across.
We zoomed across, and the doors opened and we started running, and then this guy shouted to us, "No running in the airport!"
And I felt like turning around and just telling him, "Come, time to ticket. Time is money, we're not going to much of either, come on."
You was going to swear then.
I was.
No, but obviously, again, just doing the job and telling us, but we were just panicking, so it was like speed walking, weren't we?
Yeah, I was like, you see them races where they just walk and all that? That's what we were like.
And then we got like, as we got nearer to the gate and we could see people still
still
queuing up, we was like, oh my god,
I've never been so relieved in all my life.
Oh, we kind of slowed down and took our like time getting there then. Got in the line, and this family came running up behind us. They was like,
Panting.
"We were watching you in the queue to make, because we knew if you got through then we would get through." So that was funny because we was like all stressing together.
But they were just saying like how ridiculous was that line.
It was crazy. Like, not like you hear all these horror stories recently of the airports, and we've not had any experience of it up until that flight home. Like, past few times we've been to Paris, it's been absolutely fine. When we flew out to Orlando, it was fine. Flew out to California, sorry, it was fine. The airport at LAX, whole experience there was absolutely fine. So it was
I really go as far to say it's better than Orlando. You know, like when you're going through the security bit, there's not as big of a queue.
Customs,
yeah,
it wasn't as bad at all. Maybe that's just the time that we landed, I don't know. But
I don't know, because like 3 flights came in at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was really quick.
We didn't wait very long though, did we?
No, about half an hour I reckon.
But yeah, everything has been a breeze up until that flight home. So anyway, all that was like fine. We did get on the plane. They were a little bit late. I think they must have started boarding late, because obviously Tor said that it only started after like 10 minutes after the time that they'd said. So I think subsequently that made us like a little bit late departing. So we should have left at 6:55. I think we left about 7:15.
I was going to say about 7:20. We were on the runway about, weren't we?
Yeah, I think so. So it wasn't like massively delayed, it was all good. So we set off, and to be honest, I was just shattered. Like, after the whole stress of that, I just wanted to like
You were asleep within about half an hour.
I think literally, I think as soon, you know like how the Match of the Day theme tune is My Dad's Lullaby. I feel like when you set off on a plane, as soon as you're in the sky and like fly in the sky, that's when I fall asleep. So I started snoozing like straight away, and Ben was watching a film, and then
Shang-Chi,
yeah,
which is a good film.
and then we had like an announcement, you know, where they say like, if there's anybody on board with any medical expertise, could they make themselves known to cabin crew. So we didn't know what was going on, but obviously that somebody needed some help. And then we didn't hear anything else, did we? Like, they started coming around with the food service.
But it was really like sporadic, wasn't it?
So they kept like stopping and starting, but we didn't think anything of it. We just thought maybe they were just going back, restocking the cart. Like, it was a busy flight. And then like an announcement came over saying, "Oh, we apologise if the service is slower. We are trying to get everybody fed and get to you as quick as we can, but we are dealing with a medical emergency on board." So then obviously that wasn't nice to hear, because you don't like knowing that somebody's not well, and you feel helpless, don't you, because you can't do anything about it. So we were obviously worrying about this lady that was unwell, but trying to just get on with the flight and not panic or anything. So obviously I was really sleepy, and I was kind of in and out of like dozing, but not, sorry if you can hear Rex barking, like
He's just barking at dinner.
Dozing but not properly sleeping. So I just started watching the sky map, you know, on the back of the on like the TV, because I didn't want to watch a film because I knew I was too sleepy to stay awake through it.
We were talking about it, weren't we?
I was watching the sky map and we were both like, I'm one of those people that if I know that something's happening like that, I can't get it off my mind. And like, I was worrying a bit, wasn't I?
Yeah,
and I was saying like,
calm down, it can't be that bad. We've not had to
divert or anything like that.
Anywhere. I mean, I said if they had to divert, they'd have done it by now, because like the only place we can go now is before we get to like Newfoundland, which is like the top of like Canada, is like Boston, and then we're over the ocean. We can't go anywhere then.
Well, you didn't know the exact location, but you said like we're nearly out of America, nearly out of the US, didn't you? So like our sky map said like time left was 5 hours and 40. Is it Dean?
Yeah. Come on, Dean.
Charving him. So it said like 5 hours and 47 minutes left. And then we were chatting, talking about it, and then I looked at the screen and the time had changed to 1 hour and 5.
We thought we fell asleep, didn't we?
So we were thinking, have we fallen asleep and we're landing quicker than we thought, or is something happening? Basically an announcement came over saying that the lady wasn't very well at all.
Yeah.
And that she needed like urgent
assistance,
medical help on the ground. They needed to get her to hospital. So we were turning round and flying back to Boston, which I believe was like the nearest airport that could facilitate the plane and get this lady the help that she needed. So obviously I was worrying then about this lady. I didn't even know this lady, but I just we couldn't even see her, but I just get so like panicky and it's like attached to these situations, don't I?
Emotionally attached.
I'm a very emotional person. So like that whole hour I was just like panicking, worrying about this lady.
And then the landing in Boston was like at super speed. God.
So when we were going, like obviously whether it was just because they needed to get this lady help as soon as possible, or whether the pilot was just feeling brave, but
it's quite an aggressive landing.
The actual landing wasn't bad, but it was the descent. It felt like we were going at like super speed, didn't it? And I was like, like Ben was sat at the side and I had my hand on his leg.
She didn't want to squeeze my hand dead hard.
I didn't want to squeeze his hand. I didn't want to squeeze his hand and like break his hand, but I was just like, I needed to hold something like. I'm doing it now, you can't even see, but I was holding his leg and he could feel me just like gripping. I'm not a nervous flyer, like it doesn't bother me at all, does it? No. Taking off, landing, I'm looking out the window, enjoying it, taking pictures, taking videos, like I love it. But I don't know whether it was just the panic of the situation or because it did feel like we were going so fast, but I was just getting a bit nervy. But it was all good, like the actual landing itself was fine. We pulled up, there was like emergency services already waiting. They got her off really quick, like we didn't even notice that they'd got her off. We just saw them like wheeling. Was she in a wheelchair?
Yeah, no, she was on like a bed.
On like a bed, like wheeling the stretcher to the ambulance.
And then somebody was like following behind with the cases.
There was like a security vehicle as well, which I assume may have been something to do with like passport or border control without you having to go through the actual airport.
Yeah, next thing we know the ambulance did like a quick turn and then scooted off.
So you cannot fault like the ground staff and the emergency services at all, like they got her the help that she needed so quickly.
We're probably on the ground for like an hour and a half.
So yeah, obviously they were hoping that we would be doors closed and back on the runway within about 10 to 15 minutes, but I think it depends on
it's all the checks that you need to do.
They were waiting for paperwork to come back on board, and then obviously
we couldn't take anybody's slot on the runway.
Whether you miss slot, like obviously we're not plane people, we don't know the logistics of it, but they said about waiting for some paperwork and then it took a little bit longer. So I think all in all we were on the tarmac for about 1 hour and 20, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that bad. In that kind of situation you hear of people being there for like 4 hours, 6 hours, sometimes even longer, don't you?
Yeah.
But then we were also thinking, what if it gets past the time, you know, where the cabin crew
can legally work, whether we'd be able to fly home with them.
But luckily everything worked out fine. So luckily we were back in the air pretty quick. And then we were all just trying to get some rest then and get some sleep. But
I slept more or less from Boston.
You slept a lot of it, didn't you?
Yeah.
but our plane was quite an old plane. It wasn't the most comfortable, was it?
No.
And I just couldn't really get comfortable in my seat. I felt like I was dozing off for like 20 minutes and having to like get up and move myself. Like, it just wasn't...
I slept on my table.
Yeah, Ben was literally like head down. You put your neck thing on the table as a pillow, didn't you? And was just leaned on that. And then you were leaned on me for a little bit, weren't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I had broken sleep, but not like a full...
No.
Usually I can sleep quite well on planes.
You normally sleep most of it.
I usually sleep the majority of the, like on that flight home when it's overnight, I usually sleep for most of it, but I just had very broken sleep, and then I think I had like a bit of a panic attack at one point. I won't go into it, but I think I had a bit of a panic attack just because of like everything that had happened, and I was still worrying about this lady that I don't even know. I was still worrying about her, hoping that she was okay, and I just hope that she was okay. Like, that's like the be all and end all, is I just really hope that she's okay. Like, even now, like today, obviously we're filming this last little bit the day after because of the stress of yesterday. But even today at work, I found myself just sitting there thinking, I wonder if she's okay. Yeah, like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if anybody else is the same, but I just get like really attached to people and to situations, and I can't stop thinking about it, which I need to do because I have no control over it. I don't know the lady to check if she's okay.
Well, yeah, we should have landed at 6 AM UK time.
Yeah, we should have landed at 6, and it ended up being about 11:15, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which isn't, again, in the grand scheme of things, isn't too bad. But on this occasion, we'd flown to Heathrow, so we then had the drive home.
3 hour drive home. 3.5 hour drive.
3.5 hours, wasn't it? And bearing in mind, we still hadn't eaten properly. Do you want to show everybody what's left of your monkey? This is his monkey toy.
Yeah, it's just...
We do buy him toys, by the way, but he just prefers the shredded ones that he's already chewed up. So anyway, yeah, we landed at 11:15, had the drive home, which was 3.5 hours, but we'd still not eaten properly from like the previous day. So what, that whole travel day, we didn't eat. Well, we had the plain food. Obviously they're only like really tiny portions anyway. So we both had a chicken fajita thing with rice. You didn't actually get like a fajita, it was just like the chicken and rice. It was quite nice actually, like for plain food it was quite nice. And then came with these little brownie things, but neither of us were in the mood for anything sweet. I think it's just like with, again, I think with worrying, like, you don't want to have anything, like, we just weren't wanting it.
And you're just thinking, oh, just get me home, like, I don't want any brownies, I just want to get home.
So we had that, I had my crisp, you'd already ate your crisp, didn't you?
Smashed mine off within the first 10 minutes.
So yeah, we had that plain food, but other than that, we didn't eat anything. So we stopped off at a services on the way home.
We only had
a Burger King or a Subway, didn't they? The queue for Subway was massive, so we got a Burger King, and it wasn't the best Burger King ever. So when you've not eaten for probably 24 hours, you wanted a good meal. We didn't really get a good meal, but it filled a hole until we got home. So we had that, and then I felt really bad about it, but I slept the majority of the car journey because I'd not slept very well on the plane. And I wanted to stay awake to keep Ben company and keep him like
entertained, guys.
Keep him entertained, but I just physically couldn't, could I? I was so tired.
At one point she woke up and went, slow down, and then and I was like, what? It's 50 average speed now. I've got it on cruise control.
But you know, like when you're dozing off, then you just wake up and you're like, something like
startled.
Yeah, startled you. That's the word. But yeah, and I just kept saying, I'm really sorry, just keep talking to me, but I just couldn't stay awake.
I didn't want you, just like, if you're tired, you're tired.
Yeah, but I just felt really bad because that was like, must have been boring for you.
It was, but we got through it.
In fairness, I woke up and he was listening to his playlist, and you had it on really loud. I don't know how I slept through that.
I had it on loud to keep me awake.
So yeah, the car journey home was fine for me. It went over in a flash.
I was watching the clock. I was just looking at the time counting, and I thought, get to an hour.
Yeah.
And then you're on the final stretch there.
So I think obviously by the time we'd picked the car up from the car park, stopped at the services and drove home. It was about 5 o'clock when we got here. We nipped back here just to like throw the cases in the house, and then we drove straight down to my dad's to get Poochie Bear. And we were so excited to see him. Like, that made the stress of travel day disappear, didn't it?
Yeah, and he was excited to see us.
And he was excited to see us, which we were glad about, because we was worried that after 2 weeks living his best life at my dad's, he might not want to come home. But he did, he wanted to see us. So we spent we did sit at my dad's for a couple of hours.
About an hour or so.
An hour or so. So obviously we were catching up with my dad because we'd not seen him for 2 weeks, and playing with Rex. And then we went to my sister's house just to see the boys and see her. We didn't have the presents with us because we'd not even opened the cases. But we just went there for like 20 minutes, half an hour. And then came home because we were just exhausted by that point. We just wanted to like get a shower, get in fresh clothes, like, well, our pyjamas actually, because it was that late at that point. Get in our pyjamas and just relax. So we did that, and then it got to about 9 o'clock and my mum rang me. She was like, are you in? I'll come and drop your key off, because
2 minutes away.
My mum had been like looking after the house while we were away, like popping in and checking mail, and your mum had been watering our plants. Like, our family, we're very lucky to have them. Like, they've been looking after everything while we've been gone. So my mum was like 2 minutes away, so she came and dropped the house key off, and then ended up staying for about an hour, which was lovely, don't get me wrong. Like, we loved having a catch up, but by the time they'd gone, we were like zombies, weren't we? So we ordered a takeaway because we didn't have any food in, because we'd not done a shop, because it was Sunday and we only got back after 5. So we ordered a takeaway, and I was literally eating my food and falling asleep, wasn't I? So I was like, I can't even stomach this meal. I'm going to bed. Like, I ate some of it.
Yeah, we said, oh, we want to be in bed by like 9 o'clock.
We got in bed for like 11. But we slept fine, didn't we, last night? Managed to get up early and on time for work this morning, which was a miracle in itself. And then been to work today and home now. Gonna get some more washing on.
You can probably hear the washer going now.
You can probably hear the washing machine in the background. Get some more washing done. It's just like powering through the unpacking now, isn't it? And yeah, just get sorted, get the cases back in the attic, and hopefully by like tomorrow our body clock will be back to normal.
I reckon it will be.
If we can get a decent enough night's sleep tonight, get to sleep pretty early tonight, we should be fine. But yeah, that is how the holiday ended, and why maybe the travel day ended a bit abruptly, because it was just the actual the airport situation was the worst bit. That was the most stressful bit, just because we were panicking that we weren't going to get on the flight. And we've never ever had that in an airport, have we? So it was just like very new, and because we didn't know how to like handle that situation, it was just a bit of a stress. But it's all good, we made it, and I just really hope that that lady's okay that was on our plane.
But props to Virgin and all the staff on the plane.
Cannot fault the cabin crew at all. They were incredible, weren't they? Yeah. Ground staff.
They kept apologising for the service, but the service wasn't even.
That made me really sad though, because they were doing like the announcements and they were saying like, oh, obviously we apologise for any inconvenience caused, and I just thought that poor lady must feel like she's an inconvenience, and she can't help it. Like, if she's ill, she's ill. Like, she needs the help, doesn't she? And I don't think anybody on our plane thought that. Like, everybody around us was so understanding of the situation, which I'm glad about, because it would have made me even worse if somebody had been stressing, because I probably would have shouted at them.
Since you would.
Yeah, I would have like told them off for being inconsiderate. But luckily everyone was really understanding, and it was just one of those situations where it can't be helped. We just wanted what was best for the lady that needed the help. But yeah, that was how the holiday ended. We're glad to be back home with this little munchkin, who you probably can't see now.
See the top of his head?
Should I show him? Hi, baby.
You know
You're sitting on the bench eating your monkey. You eating your monkey. You're being a good boy, aren't you? So yeah, we're glad to be back home with him. It's definitely made coming home easier, having Rexy to come home to, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're ready for bed now, aren't you?
Got my tealing up there.
Yeah, but it's definitely been easier coming home to Rexy, and it's also made it easier knowing that we already have our next trip booked. So we actually had our next trip booked before the trip that we've just been on. So we're going back to Walt Disney World in December. Yeah. And we're going to be there for New Year, which
it's gonna be
I'm
incredible.
so excited about. So if anybody else is there at the same time,
let us know.
Let us know. We would love to see like our friends out there again.
And if anybody's been over New Year and has some tips,
yes, tips.
Let us know.
Because our plan is to do Epcot we're going to do Magic Kingdom on the 30th because they do 2 nights of the New Year fireworks, and then we're going to spend actual New Year's Eve in Epcot.
Yeah, hopefully part reservations are gone by then.
We've already got them.
Oh,
well, I've got mine. You've not bought your ticket yet, have you? But
no.
there's still loads available, so we'll be fine. So yeah, the plan is Epcot for New Year, so that we can do like the UK Pavilion and obviously like American time fireworks as well, which will just be amazing. It's going to be an experience, isn't it? So if anyone's done it before or is doing it this year, let us know. And yeah, we're just really excited that we get to go back so soon. It's literally what, like 7 months away, which I'm sure will come really quickly. So yeah, we hope you've enjoyed watching this little Walt Disney World and California. God, like you forget that we went to California, don't you? Hope you've enjoyed watching our coast to coast Disney little series. We really enjoyed every bit of our holiday, didn't we? It was incredible. Ben looks like he's like completely zoned out of this video.
I want my tea.
Right, we're gonna go make our tea. But yeah, we hope you've really enjoyed watching the vlogs. We've enjoyed the holiday and enjoyed making the vlogs, and I'm sure like at whatever point you're seeing this, it's been really nice for us to like edit the videos back and see it.
I can't wait to watch all the fuzzies back.
Yeah, and it's just been so nice being there with friends, hasn't it? Like it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Having friends, so like we've spent such good quality time with our friends. Obviously wish that we'd been able to spend more time with Tor and Nath, but sadly they were a bit poorly in their second week, so we didn't get to spend as much time as we would have liked with them. No. But
we'll plan another trip though.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be another time that we're in the parks together. But yeah, we've had the best time. We hope you've enjoyed the videos. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz if you have.
And all that jazz.
But yeah, thank you for watching, and we will see you in our next video.
Thanks guys.
Bye.
Bye.
You saying bye-bye?
Go and get your paws up.
Oh, come on. What you get? Bye
bye guys.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Can I put it up there? Rexy. Bye guys.